This is App Talks. We talk about apps, all aspects of apps, but also advertising apps because it's very, very crowded out there. So what do marketers do? Where is it going? And what has happened in programmatic? These are just a couple of things I'm going to talk about today because I have Rui Mateus, who is everything at Mobrand, I would say. Founder, CTO, passionate about the product. That probably shows. So first of all, great to have you because you are the one to be talking about, because you're not only just thinking about what the marketer wants, but you're thinking about how Mobrand can meet that. You know, this is your baby, so it's great to have you.
Yes, it's my baby. So Mobrand already started 10 years ago, and it's been quite a journey for sure.
It's been quite a journey. I mean, something about journey, I always look at the personal journeys of people when I'm interviewing them, and I thought it was kind of interesting because, you know, in a way it would kind of fit. You know, it's building, it's tinkering, it's being hands-on, and then you love doing the same with cars. So I have to ask you, you're the mechanic on your car, you fix your cars, and here you are, same as with the company, which is more difficult to debug.
much more difficult for sure. So when you have quite exercising mental activity of building a company, you usually want to have something physical. And with the amount of content that you have today on YouTube, it's quite surprising how much you can relax maintaining your own car. It's like it's a very
like
interesting.
The zen
Exactly.
Motorcycle maintenance, and car maintenance.
Exactly.
And
at the same time, you save a lot of money because you're not depending on the dealerships, and it's a very relaxing moment for me.
I believe it. It's very methodical, and probably a lot that comes to mind. And what comes to mind for me is, you know, where we are in programmatic. And you've been there for 10 years, but it wasn't just that. It was that evolution in your own company, in your own thinking from affiliate to programmatic. Tell me a little bit about that journey.
So Mobrand started as an affiliate network. We were buying from publishers and sending the traffic to agencies. We didn't have much control on that. So we figured out that it is much important to have your own control of your own traffic. So that's when we started the programmatic journey. We started buying on DSPs, and basically that's where we are now. So we are now on the programmatic stack.
And does that new approach and that new focus, how old is that now?
Yeah, we have been focusing on the last 3 years.
So you've also seen that evolve as well. And as you said, I think it is really a lot about control as well. I bet that is a message that resonates with marketers.
Yes, for sure. Especially because since we want to control everything. We want to control the audience. We want to control the bids, where the bid happens and when it happens with the price that we have. So we want to have the most control possible on the programmatic.
So other than your own passion as a founder, as someone who's going to be very hands-on, what do you consider to be the USP or the value of what you're doing and how you're doing it? Because it is a loud and crowded market, let's be honest.
So they are very interested in having transparency of what we send. That's right. So previously the advertisers were not so knowledgeable about the industry, so they just wanted results, not caring much how the results were getting driven. Today it's much more KPI oriented, and they want much more transparency, and we deliver that.
To which KPIs do you think they should be aiming? Because sometimes they have KPIs that should not be the North Star metric. I've heard a lot of that. There are some great talks out there, saying ROAS is not the one,
Exactly.
What about you?
So previously they focused a lot on the retention, for instance. The retention is not necessarily what you want to be focusing on. You want to be focusing on the real user that the advertising is bringing, and the performance that user is doing. That's our model. So we work on a performance model with the advertisers. So they have much less risk working with us because they only pay us when they already have the user on their side, and when the user already did some kind of action inside the app.
So then it has to be a quality user.
Exactly.
And that's what everybody wants because we haven't got the data we had before. So be very specific about your audience. You don't want to get people in. It's not COVID. You can't bring them in and just lose them because that's wasting money.
Exactly.
When they come, they leave. That's not a win.
That's why programmatic is so important, because you have the full control of the funnel since the bidding side, since when the user sees the banner or the video, and then you control all the flow until the installation of the application.
Probably because you are the founder, you are the one who started this. You made also very clear that it was your tech, which is not what is always the point and the case in the industry. You know, you have your own bidder, you have your own tech, you're using openrtb, you're integrating with premium SSPs. I mean, this is an ecosystem play. This is not building a product, this is building a platform and an ecosystem. I guess the question for me is, what convinced you? I mean, investment in your own tech and building and cementing these relationships, that's effort, not what everyone does.
I consider that Mobrand is not necessarily a marketing company. It's a tech company.
Okay.
We have a very big technological background. So that's where we came from. So we built products. That's where we are good. We focus now on marketing because we understand that we are very good at that as well. But in reality, our background is technological. So Mobrand is a technological company at the moment working on the adtech ecosystem. And we want to have the full control of the flow, so of the funnel, of the user experience, or of the user journey. And so that's why we are aiming so much for the technological side. Because when you have the technology, you have the control. And
then you can give that to the companies you're working with. So the advertisers have the benefit of that. You know, you have built it from scratch. And your evolution, your own evolution learnings from affiliate to this point. So it all comes together there. How do you maintain that momentum? Because it has to be on the mark, but it has to be scalable as well. You know, you're getting advertisers that say, yes, this is fantastic. Now I want to really roll it out. So that's the stage we are at the moment. So we are scaling the company. We are doing our rebranding. We want to show ourselves as a premium agency. Okay. We want to target the app developers and to help them grow. That's the objective. We have very, very good people working in the company. So I'm not scared at all with the scale. We don't want to scale to 500 people. That's not our goal. But what's more important is to have the right people around you and working at the company. That's the goal. Well, that's also part of being premium, right? Because exactly. Premium isn't premium. Premium before was a placement, I think, that we're redefining now. We're thinking a lot more about, there was a kind of cheap premium at one point, wasn't there? Well, even today's premium, there are multiple types of premium. So yeah, I totally agree. I want to get to another focus of marketers. You know, one is the performance, absolutely. Brand performance, that would be about the premium, and we won't go there. But then the other one is fraud. Where are we on that? You know, what's the biggest challenge right now? I mean, we've seen some very interesting legislation recently when everything is in one house, and we've seen also a lot done around fraud. Where are you standing? Our biggest challenge with programmatic at the moment is the amount of invalid traffic that exists on the bid stream. When you think that you are bidding on real users and you are not. So there is a lot of bots making the whole flow as if they were users. We have ways of tackling that, although we are always evolving, because fraud is also always evolving. It's whack-a-mole. You'll never really beat it. They'll just get smarter, but then you get smarter with them. You're a tech company. Exactly. So that's what I was about to say. Since we control all the flow, we are on a vantage points where we can control it, or at least know that it's there, because it's very easy to understand. Again, since we are on a performance level, since we work with performance with the advertisers, what this means is that
if you start buying on a specific source or on a specific audience and it's not bringing results, you know immediately.
Yeah.
So after 1 or 2 hours, if you know the audience of that specific application or the behavior of the organic users of that application, you can understand
Find the fraudulent
if
ones.
after an installation, if what are the behavior of the users.
Yes.
If that specific source is not behaving like the normal users, you know immediately that is fraud.
Yes.
So we have that advantage that is, since we control the whole flow from the performance up to when the banner is shown, we have much more control on the frauds that we have.
And much more insight into what does behavior look like.
Exactly.
You know, it used to be something as simple as, oh, well, you know, if they click within a certain number of seconds, but now it's much more complex. And hey, we're in the age of AI, so fraudsters are smarter now.
Exactly.
You know, they have their little friends. They have maybe not ChatGPT, but certainly close. You're using your own tools, but are you using something or doing a different mix? Because again, fraud is the focus. You cannot burn that money.
Yes, so we test other tools, of course, but majorly we have our own technology because that allows us to have full control of it. Nevertheless, obviously, sometimes it's not possible due to time constraints to have your own technology when you are in need of a specific client. So sometimes we use third-party tools. But most of the time, I would say 95% of the time, it's our own tech. 100% our own tech. Since the conception of the servers up until what shows on the user.
So 100% your own tech, that means that you're evolving that as well, that you've shifted, you've shifted the company, you've shifted your brand, and you've also continued to build, and now you're in scaling with your own technology, with your own company. Speaking of those shifts, what are like the biggest shifts you've seen, say, for example, in programmatic?
Multiple things. So you have artificial intelligence for sure. That's one of the biggest. It's everywhere at the moment.
Seismic. Yes.
But we need to understand that programmatic is a way of media buying. It is a whole ecosystem, but you can use programmatic. Programmatic is just a word of a medium. So you are using a technology that is openrtb to make the biddings, to make the media automated on the buying side. This means that since the market is growing on multiple channels, so for instance, lately we have seen a huge growth in connected TV, for instance.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So you have connected TV, you have digital out of home. That's programmatic is also occupying these channels. So programmatic is evolving along with the industry. So we cannot differentiate programmatic from the business, from the ecosystem, because it's there. It's just a tool that we can have to make automated media buying. So I think that since the market is changing, programmatic is also changing. They will have more or less the same challenges.
And the huge challenge when everything is really everywhere. I mean, cross-channel is no longer the buzzword, it's the reality.
Exactly.
CTV we were talking about for years, well, guess what? It's here.
Exactly.
What about you, for what's next for you in programmatic UA? I mean, when I think about it, a lot of things are changing. You could be excited about CTV. You could be excited about something else. What are you excited about when you look at the market?
The entry barrier to have a good AI, it's very low at the moment. So what we want to do is to build a very good ecosystem where we can build our own models, build our own audiences using AI, and to drive very good quality for our clients. So that's where we want to be, and obviously be a one-stop shop for performance marketing, where an advertiser, especially a mobile app, can come to us and say, look, I have these specific events from the users, I have these subscriptions, and I don't want to do anything with the promotion. I don't want to do anything with tech jargon or the marketing jargon. I have these events, make my app grow. That's what we want to do, to have a one-stop shop for the app developers to come to our platform and say, look, we are growing users and we are not spending huge amounts of money. That's the goal.
You mentioned subscription apps. Are that a big part of
Yes.
what your clients
Subscriptions
are? Your
and
customers?
gambling, for instance, it's very big. Casinos. We also have finance. So usually apps that have a long funnel of conversion.
Yeah, because when you do nail it in a fintech app, I mean, that conversion is literally gold.
Exactly.
What do you think the audience profile, how that's going to evolve? Because it used to be, well, I've got these events, but, you know, and then there was this discussion, well, marketers aren't really looking at the right events to begin with. So how's that evolving? What do you see changing there? Yeah. Are they going to be more specific and niche? Are we going to be broader because we want to still cast a wide net? What about that? Because you're only going to be as good, you can only perform as well as what they give you. And sometimes they can't. They don't give you that right information.
With the amount of data that there is today, with the data collaboration platforms, with the data clean rooms, you can correlate a lot of data. And with this correlation, you can start to build audiences. And obviously, you cannot target the user device or the user specifically because of privacy constraints. But I really think that there are still opportunities there, especially because with challenges, if you have the right technology, there are plenty of opportunities. And with good data sets and with good performance that we have from previous applications, we can start to model by vertical. So we can start building audiences by vertical, by geo, even since we control the whole flow, even the amount of bids that we can do on specific time. So there are a lot of strategies that you can employ on the programmatic stack that still can give you a upper hand than using only a DSP.
And that plays, I think, in favor of your own DNA in a way, because that's what you have been doing since day one, is looking at the technology. And now, look, the time for modeling, the time for all of this is there.
Exactly.
The AI made your own? I mean, what don't you make?
Exactly, but that's exactly it. Since AI, the entry barrier is so low, it's not, well, it is complex, obviously, but it's not impossible. It's not, you don't need like to have a huge investment to do great models in AI anymore, because the entry barrier is much lower. Yeah. So that's where we are at the moment.
Well, then you have the benefit of, you know, up here to teach and prompt, and you've been there and done that for 10 years, and looking forward to watching you as you evolve, and also love the look of the brand, I have to say.
Thank you very much.
It is one of the coolest shirts I have seen. So maybe that's my swag, who knows? But it was great speaking with you and also learning about how you have evolved. Because I look about you as, I'm thinking like a microcosm of the industry. The way you are moving is the way we are going. So it's in sync.
Yes. So our objective is to be an alternative for the app developers. That's the objective, and to provide real value to the app developers, and to cut a little bit the complexity of this market. I'm a developer. I know the pains of learning the industry, and we want to build a platform where everything is as most seamless as possible. And you have built that. I mean, that's the thing when you talk to someone who's product, CTO, and founder all in one, you know, it's the real deal. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.